Hey, I'm sorry. I'm a bit late. I was just teaching a spin class. I'm Lauren. Hey, pleased to meet you. Alright, first things first. You rang me and you said that you were interested in the last position available in the food disorders behaviour group. Okay. Do you want to talk to me a little bit about that? Do you mind if I take notes? Okay. You've had these issues with food for how long? Okay. So you have these behaviours with food for several years. And you feel that it's a little bit worse recently? Okay. And you're concerned about your relationship with food. Can I ask you, have you been seeing a professional? A psychologist? You have, good. It's so important that we have that professional foundation from which to work. Here at the Institute, we have food behaviour support groups, and then we have advisors who support one-on-one, and I'm an advisor. Yeah, and all of us come from a history of having relationships with food that we feel are a little bit consuming. That's funny, isn't it? Yeah, so we have a level of empathy for what you're going through. Yeah. Okay. I'd just like to write that down. Okay. Okay. Yeah. What I'd like to really reinforce right now, I'd like to really reinforce that you've come to me to talk about your relationship with food. The names of the support groups are Food Disorder Support Group, and we have a problem there. The problem is that if we want to have a healthy relationship with food, the more we focus upon food, yeah, that's right, you've got it, the less balanced it's going to be. Yeah. And we need to also look at what we're doing when we self-medicate with food. Food tastes good. Food's great. It's great to get together with friends and family and festivities and sit down around a big table with a big bowl of pasta and have a good time and a laugh. That's all positive. But where that's not so positive is where we need the food and we express stress through food. Do you agree? Yeah. Yeah. One of the problems in Western society, as you have just pointed out, is that we're supposed to be skinny and we're supposed to be sexy. Yeah. It's silly, isn't it? But we're all exposed to it. Along the way, I would like you to really revisit your relationship with the media. Let's break that down. Magazines, photoshopped. They big, skinny, tall, lanky models who have not had children. And how's that representative of reality? Yeah, it's not. And then do you see what they do under their eyes? Yeah, they Photoshop. It's ridiculous. When you think about it, we're supposed to look like starved, skinny giraffes with photoshopped eyes. It's impossible. The media is asking and pressuring and putting out propaganda for us to be something that is impossible. Oh, if it wasn't so tragic, it would be comic. But it's not comic, it's really serious. Is there anything you'd like to ask me at this stage? A personal question? Yeah, why not? Yeah, in my teens I was really overweight. Yeah, I used to binge eat. Why? I didn't like myself. Yeah, I was uncoordinated and yeah, I ate food because the comfort factor, yeah. Oh, what was the trigger? Yeah, the trigger, and I don't think with our society it's something you achieve. I think that it's a journey. The trigger was realizing that my body is the temple to my soul and I wanted to be a functional body. I like feeling a sense of equilibrium, and when I eat well, I feel like I can make reasonable decisions and I feel like I'm a happier, calmer person. But the catalyst for that, for me, I choose not to look at magazines because they can really stuff you up. It is difficult for me to look at magazines that have an eye cream with a flawless model or a yogurt with a stunning skinny model. It kind of messes with my head, so I choose not to look at it. And if I do look at it, I talk it through and observe it. That body in that magazine is impossible. And if I choose to want to look like that model, it will affect my happiness with my life and my happiness with those around me. I make it sound so easy, don't I? We could have a laugh about that. At the end of the day, as you and I know, we're both affected by it, aren't we? Yeah. After all, we do want to be attractive to others. We do want others to like us. But there's a line from wanting others to like us and becoming consumed, get it, the joke? Becoming consumed with a need to look like a silly giraffe in a magazine. I think we should get t-shirts. I don't like silly giraffes. Okay. Yeah, so we're on the same page. And we understand it's a process. What do we do here? We like to go back to the beginning, where this started. We like to take your focus away from food and back onto you. Often we're influenced by magazines when we lack a sense of self. putting away those magazines and taking time to meditate, be in the moment. Try not to distract yourself. It's a good start, but it's a lot about acceptance and self-kindness as well. Don't place too high expectations on yourself at this time. Yeah, I think we're going to do well. So what have you decided? You're not going to do the self-help group? Great idea. Yeah. For you, others may be different. For you, I think you can work through this. Oh, you want to keep seeing me? Yeah. Let's work out some homework and some strategies, brainstorm some ideas so you can realign your relationship with food. Yeah, that's right. We're going to work at looking at other terms. So rather than talking about food, we're going to talk about energy resourcing. Yeah. How you're feeding your body's life force. And we use the word feeding across two different frameworks. Feeding your body is about feeding your soul, and therefore feeding is not just about food, it's about your sense of self. Okay. You'd like to know what your homework is? Okay. I want you to create a life force ritual. Yeah. So I want you to look at your behaviors around consumption. Do you consume food regularly? Are there any times in the day where you go longer than 2 hours without eating? Why? Good question. If you go longer than 2 hours without eating, your blood sugar is going to drop and your need for sugar is going to go up. We want to avoid cravings. We want to avoid deprivation. We don't do diets here. We do life force. We do feeling good. We do self-aware. We consume food to support our amazing bodies, which support and house our soul. Yeah. So I want you to write down your patterns of consumption, and we're going to look at a ritual. When you eat, I want you to make a feature of it. Candles, set the table, and I want you to sit down and experience the food. Why? Because food is a social experience. Get down as a family, turn the technology off, celebrate the food, pass it around, and let's pull away from the McDonaldization of society. No drive-through, no easy meals. Let's make this a time the family gets together and prepares the food and sits down and converses around the dinner table. And then rather than us serving food, food serves us. Food is a festivity. There's nothing better than getting around a table with a big bowl of pasta and garden salad and having a great conversation, breaking bread. Isn't that just fun? That's what life is about. The interaction. Yeah. Our culture has so much to answer for. It can be so destructive. The way that Western society focuses on women being skinny, women looking young, men being muscular. Talking about setting us up for failure. It's kind of funny, isn't it? Is there anything else you'd like to talk to me about? Okay. So you feel that your relationship with food is affecting your self-esteem. Yeah. Can I put a thought in there? Can I ask you, is your self-esteem affecting your relationship with food? Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? The chicken and the egg type story. One of the big problems that we face here is that through evaluating and resolving and strategizing through this, we risk focusing on food. So we really need to pull away and focus back on yourself. Alright, I've written down some homework for you. When you go home, I want you to get onto YouTube and type in Eckhart Tolle. I want you to order the book, The Power of One. Read it. Not during dinner. And I want you to think about self. I love Eckhart's story about how he used to be depressed and then developed a sense of self and empty his mind. I think you'll find when you empty your mind and detach yourself, you'll be detaching yourself from more than just thought. Yeah. It's not about the food. It's about you. And it's a different story for each person. It varies incredibly. I really advise that you work with a psychologist through this process because it's about your welfare. Okay. Is there anything else? You're feeling better? Yeah. It's up and down. It's a journey. You know what? I think we can do it. But I want you to keep a journal. Not a journal when you're focusing on food, a journal where we focus on you. How do you feel? The process of your day. I want you to map out times where you feel anxious or lacking in self-esteem. Let's look at how you express that through behavior. Yeah. I agree. For you at this time, the group, I think you know the answers. I have so much belief in you. Yeah. Remember that many people struggle with a relationship with food. Yeah, they do. So you are not on your own. And I can see you're an intelligent person. Let's bring this back to yourself. For the next week, keep the journal. Look up Eckhart Tolle. Map out your journal and spend 5 minutes morning and night meditating. And throw out those magazines. Turn off those ads. Don't look. Don't you even look at them. I believe in you. Thanks so much for coming in to meet me. I'm sorry I was late. Yeah, let's get going. I feel good about this.